Hey lovelies, you are welcome back again to my channel. Today's video is not the very regular videos I used to make on this channel. It's just that once in someone's life, you just need to just say things the way they are, because it's not at this stage of my life I would start deceiving myself and deceiving people. I've actually stayed 1 year plus in the UK, though not very long. I'm still within or in the lag phase, but I just have to share my honest experiences with you guys. Please, if you are just joining this channel, you are welcome to Jeblis World. And if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so you don't miss out on my amazing videos. Don't also forget to turn on your post notification bell. Um, some weeks back, I put a question on my community page, like since I've stayed a year here in the UK, if there's any question anybody has to ask, and I got few questions. But before I'll be answering your questions, um, I would just say few things. Okay, my mood may look somehow. Please just pardon me because every day is not the same. Actually, before I left my home country, Nigeria, I actually weighed it. I weighed it. I know it will not always be that easy at the beginning stage. It is normal. Even if you relocate within the country, maybe from one state to another, you will still find out that you will need to do a lot of adjustments in every aspect. Not to talk of crossing, to another country. So I already knew, yes, it will not be that easy, but I didn't know that the reality would be this shocking. I didn't know it would be this shocking. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just trying to tell you how things are. I know some of you say maybe it's for you. Well, I'm actually speaking for myself, and I also have friends that, yes, sometimes we sit together and we talk. Okay, so like I was saying, I actually knew it would not be that easy, but it is the length of time you will scratch that I didn't really know. If you have been following my videos, you will have heard severally that I said it took me a while to get a job, because before I moved down, I was now self-employed owing to so many reasons, because I don't want to work for someone and not get paid. That's just one of the reasons. But then when I came, I was doing some certifications, which normally I ought to have done, at least majority of them back home. Please, as I am sharing this, it's also a way to enlighten people that want to begin this journey. Not everybody will actually take what you are saying, but then I will just say it the way they are. So when I came, I started doing some certifications, like, doing 1 month pass, 2 months pass, like that. I think around the fifth month or fourth month, I got one particular job. Then when I went, I resigned that very day. It's not funny because some things you may do, you will almost lose your life. I came home. I did not, how I got home was a miracle. When I came home, I could not speak. I don't know the kind of job that one is. For the very first time, I respected white people. Most of them are very hardworking. You will see some of them very old, but yet they have that strength. When I got home, I thought it was a child's play. I worked for 1 day. I fell sick for 1 month. So I wasn't even thinking of job again. It was how to get well that I was thinking about. So after a month, when I got better, I started the search again for job. Then I got another one. Then the issue of people telling you that go and do care work, go and do care work. I've noticed that when people just immigrate into a new country like this, like UK, they will tell you to go and apply for care work, because most of them will tell you they usually sponsor. I am not disputing that. There are many things involved in this care job of a thing. It's not everybody that has that strength to do care work. Speaking for myself, I am not destined. Will I use the word destined? It is not what I can do. And just to let you know, guys, that it's not only care work that gives sponsorship. It's just that care has overshadowed so many jobs. There are many jobs that if I list them now that give sponsorship here in the UK, you will be shocked. But we tend to underrate those ones because we feel it must be care work before you know it. So I knew that I won't be able to function well in all this care work. There are things people cannot do, not because it's pride. So we tell you it's just for a while, but you know your strength. You know your strength. So when after looking, before I got the job, I even had to just switch to that care work. You know, before you leave your home country, have a plan. Have a plan. I know why I'm saying this like that. Then I now started working. Currently, I'm still working. Now, let's come to the kind of visa I use in coming into this country. I came through study visa. Study visa is very, very easy to get if you're coming to come and school in the UK. I think that's why many people like to go through study routes. But the real reality is waiting for you at the front. Yes, it's waiting for you at the front. So when it's that quick, maybe you will not have time to plan because I really don't understand. Well, as a student, you don't really have so much benefits. You can't compare someone coming as a student with someone that is a permanent resident in the UK. The benefits are different. Yes, some of the benefits we have as students are free education for our kids, um, medical care free, but that medical care, somehow you've paid for it before coming here. Then having to having not to pay your council tax at least within the period you are a student. It's not like you have all the benefits. And now I'm the dependent. I'm the one that can work 40 hours. Don't also forget, students are only entitled to 20 hours. So no matter what, you have to work 20 hours as a student. Otherwise, you'll be breaking the law. Okay, I will not be able to work 40 hours. But I've got kids. If I work 40 hours and my husband work 20 hours, when are we going to have time for the home, for the family? So the whole thing now became choking at a point. I remember when I even got the job, I was looking for how to get a nanny for my son. I couldn't get. Or should I say, there was even one that was very close to me. The woman was not coming out straight. I had to just let them know in the office that I need time for my kids because it's almost like penny wise, pound foolish when you are earning a particular amount per hour and the money you are being charged per hour is like almost half of the money. So it's not like you're even working for the nanny, and there's no way a nanny will take care of your child like you. So at the end of the day, we're able to figure that out, and trust me, there's no way I can work 40 hours because you know. So that was one of those things that started, setting in. And the system doesn't want to know whether you are working or not, whether you are working 5 hours per week. When it's time for bills, you have to pay because definitely you use light, you use water, people take away your trash, so you need to pay. That is why when you are coming, have a backup plan. Because what if you are not working? Nobody wants to know that because you have already written or proven to them that you have enough funds to take care of yourself and your home or your family. So that, by the way, I will come to the workplace, the experiences so far. I'll come to the workplace. But let me uh, touch another aspect. The weather here has been very funny. Very funny. Back then, when we see people abroad, they will be fresh. They will be fresh. I don't know if it's Scotland. Please, if you are in Scotland, particularly Aberdeen, and the weather is good on your skin, please let me know how you are doing it. Because my husband came first to the UK before I came with the kids. It was just an interval of about 1 month plus. When I came, I saw two dark patches on my husband's face, two sides. I was like, what happened? It's like it was conspicuous. I could see it. What happened? He could not explain. So later I thought maybe it was maybe his head warmer. But I said head warmer shouldn't give you this kind of black patches. That was when I knew the weather wasn't good for his skin. So as a wife, I had to start looking for a solution or solutions. I started looking for creams a good moisturizing cream that has oil. The ones I brought from Nigeria had exhausted everything. Then his knuckles here, dark, dark. You will think it's bleaching. It's not actually bleaching. Even look at mine, you will see it. It's not like I'm bleaching. The weather just started destroying our skins. We hardly get sun rays here. My kids' skin were just dusting off like chaffing. I will have to use so much Vaseline, like pour it. If you don't put excess body cream, you will not even feel it. It's like the body will just be swallowing it. Like if you see where I stored creams in my room, it's not like I sell them. I was buying and buying till I was able to get, I think, Nivea. Nivea was now the one that was now good for my husband's skin. Then I tried different types for my kids, Johnson. At the end of the day, I think I bought Avino. I kept on asking people because this time around, nobody's at Ireland, and then where we are, the people we came to meet here, they are of different skin colors. So it is you who will have to figure out what you want. So that's how the weather has been treating us till now. Sometimes I wake up or we wake up to four weathers in a day. When I wake up in the morning, it could be sunny. Afternoon, it could be drizzly. Evening, it could be snowy. Night, it could be rainy hails. Just in one day. Then there's no even need to use umbrella here. Maybe it's rainy. The way the breeze will blow the umbrella will look like parachute. So that one is out of it. So trying to cope with the weather, and I don't blame myself too much for get not being comfortable with the weather, because even the whites that are born and brought up here, they even complain. They will tell you it's freezing, it's cold, it's this, it's that. So who am I to now say, oh, this weather is okay? So we have been trying to adjust, but I can't complain so much because it's more of nature. Yeah, it's just left for us to get what we can use to combat it. Taking vitamin D, getting all these supplements. I had to just get all those things. Then now coming to work. The way this system here is, first of all, you spend more time with your family. That is if you are not the type that works for many hours. Then you now spend more time at work because you really need to work so you can pay your bills. The system is now so rigid that if you don't work, you may be depressed, and nobody here is going to give you money. Please, our brothers and sisters back home, try to check on your loved ones abroad. Don't get carried away with the way they look on social media. You will think all is well. Most of us here are depressed. I'm going to use us because I'm not trying to say I'm too comfortable. Yeah, I would say most of us. I have a friend that I just asked, you hope you are working now. She teared up. Her tears got me emotional. She said, my sister, I've been here for 7 months now, no job. I asked, how have you been coping? He said, it's good. She's not the first person. She's not the second. She's not, because where I work, I get to meet many of my folks. So we just keep talking. I was like, is there no one saying something positive about this place? I'm not trying to be negative, guys. I'm just trying to tell you the way things are now. Because I've just told you the benefits of this place. Yes, the serenity, the fact that you can go out and come back and nothing will happen to you. Yes, they are sweet. Your kids can go to school without you bothering about how you pay the school fees. But everything that has pros also has cons. You understand? So we have to say it. We have to say the two. Abroad is sweet. I will not be. I will not deny that. I will not say it's not sweet. But it takes a lot of effort. If not, you will just keep Working, when you get paid, you eat, you pay your bills, again, you go back to square one. For those that are working, or those that are yet to get a job, or those that are planning to move over, when you start working or when you come into a place like this, please be careful not to let everything out about you. Again, I repeat, be careful not to let everything out about you. The white people, or let me say some white people, are very inquisitive. They look more like detectives. Majority of them is just to know about you, and you'll be surprised they will not tell you about them, or they will tell you what they think you should know about them. Is what I've experienced here. So no matter how close, not even to only the whites, generally, no matter how close you are to anybody here, be careful what you say about yourself, about your family, about your home. Tell them just what you think they should know. Like I just told them my favorite meal is this, just something trivial. Then if you let me explain what I mean. If you now go and bring a story of my uncle's this thing, you're already you're already on the wrong lane. Okay? Please, especially at your place of work, be careful. Be careful. Because when it's now being used against you, it may be too late to turn back the hands of time. At your place of work, you are judged on your personality and your work ethics. First of all, leave um, qualifications aside, leave experience aside. Let's assume you just got a job. You could just be the type that when you enter a place, you just be frowning. They'll be watching you. Most times, they like people that are social. They like people that, hey, hello. They like it. So if you are not that type, you can just try because you'll be judged by that. Second, your work ethics, how you work. If you are the one that needs to attend to customers, are you the type that pay and go? Or the type that, hello, how are you? Your work ethics, how you carry out your activities. You'll be judged mainly by those two things. I'm not trying to say those are the things you'll be doing, but mainly those two things. So, where I'm driving at is if you don't have good work ethics, let your personality be nice. Okay? They could just say she doesn't really have a nice personality, but she can do her job very well. Or you can have good personality and not have good work ethics. Yeah, they could say she easily gets tired when working, but she's got nice personality. But best if you have the two, having nice personality, having good work ethics. I wish I knew this earlier. But now I'm now sharing my experience with you. If you are going through some ups and downs, maybe you're trying to pay your school fee and you are not getting enough pounds. Yes, you're not getting enough pounds, or your home is not settled. Maybe one or two issues, and it's now making you moody. Please keep that mood at home. Nobody cares about what has happened to you. You know where I'm coming from. We want or we love people to always pity us. Ah, you see what happened to me. Hey, child. You know, the white people don't do that here. Nobody wants, they believe they are dealing with adults. You should be able to handle anything you think may be giving you concern. Yes. So don't come with the hope that you'll be pitied. Do your work and go. Maybe they could pity you the first time, but the second time, it may not be like teasing. It may not it will be pity again. So don't put yourself in a state where you'll be pitied or where you always beg. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Don't put yourself in that state at all. If you know you put yourself in that state, it's better you don't even go. You understand? I'm dwelling now on the job part or work part based on what I have experienced. Again, if you are a student and somehow your spouse is not well or has got things to do, and because of that, you think you cannot come to work. They don't want to hear that. It doesn't hold water. See, these things I'm telling you, they may not really tell you, but don't let it get to the stage where you'll be told. Maybe somehow the husband went to work, or somehow the husband didn't go to work because of the wife. They feel as a wife is above 18, she will to take care of herself. So you come in to give excuse at work that I didn't come to work early because I had to take my wife. They don't want to hear that. But rather, you can use your kids as excuse. Maybe I went to give my son immunization, that's why I didn't come, or that was why I came late. That one is sounds better in their ears than you using your spouse as excuse. Not that you are trying to lie, it actually happened, but they don't want to hear it. That's another thing I've noticed here um, in within 1 year of staying here. At your place of work, you have to be reliable. When I say reliable, this is where punctuality comes in and coming regularly comes in. Let them be able to say, oh, she will come to work tomorrow. Oh, she's coming next tomorrow. You know, some people, depending on their mood, they'll tell you, I'm not going to work tomorrow. You will not know they are taking notes. Or you are the type that comes every time 10 minutes past your number resumption time or 5 minutes. You won't know, but record is being taken. So reliability really counts here. When you have skills, it will also be of help to you here. Maybe you are the one that cuts hair, you make hair, you sew. It could also be very, very helpful here. Like you get additional money. But then, if you want to do it on a large scale, you need to license it. That is why most of us here we do our side hustles um, codedly. Okay, codedly. Just do it. It will look like homemade. Yes, maybe you want to make meat pie for somebody's birthday. You call it homemade, this and that. So you can also, if you are skillful, better for you. That's what I've noticed here, and that's why I am not. I'm happy because I make clothes, I make my hair, I make food for some of my friends. You get, so I try to get extra income from there. But some people are just one way. They just came into the country without having any side hustle. So the question you ask yourself: what if I cannot go to work? That means you will not earn money for that day because the pattern of payment here is no work, no pay. It's only when you work you get paid. Sorry, let me add this. When you are sick, know that you will not get paid, except it has gotten to the time where you can take your sick leave. When you are sick for one reason or the other and you did not come to work, no matter how you explain it, you were off sick, you won't get paid for that. It's here I've discovered that someone may not be acting right. Instead of the person to be called to order, you will see a lot of talks behind the person. This person did not do this. See, the trouser is short. We will talk. This one will talk. So one day, I asked somebody, instead of you talking, can't the person be called? Maybe if you are not in a position to do that, maybe the higher authority should do it. Maybe go that, no, I'm just citing an example. This your trouser is one leg is short, one leg. Why can't you? Why? The person was like, no, they don't do it. That's not the system here. Okay. Two things are involved. The person may not know that whatever he or she is doing is wrong. Again, the person may not take it the way it's being said. So I'm just trying to weigh the two options. But it's so common here. Something will happen. Instead of you to just correct the issue, it becomes like a topic. I think that was even my first experience. It is here that someone will finish you from at your back. Then the following day, we come and smile with you. How are you? It is here. One thing I believe is let's address it and address it. Which one is you? True, 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 true. And when God is standing for you, nobody can be against you. That is what I've always known. Another thing I've also discovered or I've also learned under this my 1 year is learn to set boundaries. That one, I learned my lesson in a very hard way. Learn to set boundaries. When something happens that you don't like, maybe it happens again the second time, maybe you don't want to just conclude the first time. It's time to set boundaries. It's time to say, oh no, I don't want it that way. Because if you condone it, it will keep happening, and the more it happens, it will be getting worse. Learn to set boundaries here in the UK, especially at your place of work. Anything you know doesn't make you happy, address it immediately. Address it immediately. That's also what I have learned here. So, anyone I must have addressed during my initial talking, I won't dwell so much on that. So, this is from Vera Moore's launch. She said, what are the challenges you face as a Nigerian living in the UK? Okay, I've mentioned some. Bullying. I've faced bullying. I've faced bullying that there was a particular day I had to cry home. And I was later told nobody deserves to cry home. In a place, I'm getting emotional right now. So I've faced bullying, I've talked about the weather. The weather is harsh on our skin. And I got to learn that it is like that with Scotland. Please prove me wrong. If you're in England or Wales, they said it's like that, that the water is not good for our skin, but it's good for drinking. Yeah, of the truth, we drink tap water here, and there has been no cause for alarm. So the weather has not really been too good. Hey, the worst part of the weather I don't like, or the season I don't like, is the winter period. The winter period that makes you look as if you should always be sleeping, not getting to have my people close by. It has been a great challenge for me, especially when I just want to have my space. But I can't have it because I don't have any other person to leave the kids with again. So I will just sacrifice my time. I don't have anybody like close family friends. It really affected us when my husband was down, even me. It's like we just have to be strong for ourselves. I said, we don't have anybody here, so we have to just be strong for ourselves. So that was one of the challenges I faced, and the fact that um, the cost of living here is now very high. You see, every year they increase minimum wage here, but then the prices of things still go up. So what's that the essence of the additional money? Okay, what I've also faced again, I'm so busy here that sometimes I don't even have time to watch TV, because that's the spirit of the UK. That's the spirit of this abroad we are talking about. You almost have a triangular lifestyle. And that is why people will keep asking you, hope you came with your God. Because there's a way this system will enter into you. You won't even have time to go to church. Yes, you won't have time to go to church. What you'll be thinking is, I have shift. Oh, I collected shift. I will be doing morning shift. That's what you hear in most people's mouth here in the UK. Because money is needed here to survive. It's needed here to survive. So not having enough time to spend with my people, though I still try my best, but sometimes it's out of tiredness. No, mom is already tired, but you still see one mommy that is still trying to still give the children chances. Like one day my son came to me and said, mommy, I feel bored. I said, you feel bored? He came the first and second time. I left everything I was doing. I said, okay, can you tell me about your friends at school? So he was happy, even though I was feeling sleepy, but I had to just create that time for him. Then that was when I started talking about, okay, my friends at church are this and that. So after he was able to say one or two things, he went and went to sleep. Just imagine I didn't give him that opportunity to look like My mommy is just busy, busy, busy. She doesn't even have time. So that time is the issue. And that time is also money here. The next question here is, have you experienced racism over there? Yes, I have, depending on how we see it. Okay, first I will cite one example. More than whenever I go to work, I used to see one of my colleagues in the bus, and she's always sitting close to the window. You know what comes to your mind now when you see your colleague in the bus? You want to go and sit close to the person. Well, not for everybody, not for everybody, but this kind of person, we are going to the same place. We should stay together, that kind of a thing. So I noticed that whenever I see her, I'll be happy. Hi, she'll just take away her face. Hello, this. So later, I concluded that most of them are sick here, but you will not know, they'll be smiling with you. So I just concluded that maybe something was not too right about our health, because to me it wasn't looking normal. No, we just go, hey, hello. And I said, I was like, I'm fine. So, but I didn't jump into conclusion immediately. I just still gave that person the benefit of doubt. I did it first time, second time, third time. Then I concluded. I said, no, there's no need wasting my greeting. There's no need wasting my emotions. Whenever I get into the bus, go. I'll just go and look for a separate place to sit. To cut the long story short, I saw the same lady laughing with her fellow folk, laughing. I was like, it's not the same person that, you know, that was when I knew something was not right. And I think I can term it to be racism. Yeah. Then another one that happened, there's this particular lady who usually go to work in the same bus. So one day, we got into the bus together, and everywhere was filled up. Everywhere filled up. So the only place I got a space was close to her, but rather she kept her bag there. When I saw there was no place for me to sit, I told her, "Excuse me, can I sit down?" I was not even looking for any conversation. I was not looking for any greeting or anything. Immediately she took away her bag. I sat down. She started sighing. When you are not just comfortable with someone sitting close to you, that was the feeling. And I understood everything. But there was nothing I could do because I needed to sit down. Why should I be irritating? Why? After all, we didn't talk, but she would just put her leg like this. Ugh. So later, somebody came down from the bus, and I was no longer comfortable with her too. So I left that place. I went to replace the person. Then she just spread her legs, carried her bag, put it on the chair where I stood up, as if, ah, as long as she didn't mention anything to me, I just, faced my phone. The other one is someone telling you, in my country, this one is better than your own. This one is a fellow immigrant now. To me, all those things are racism. Or was it the time when my kids just got into school? You know, fights with fellow. But at the end of the day, that one was resolved. So if you're talking about racism, yes, I've faced it here. The issue of somebody will not give one 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 standard. You understand? You tell somebody this is what you should do, this is how we do it in this place. But when it gets to maybe me, let me use myself now. Okay, you should not do this. So what will make that same rule not bind me? Yes. What will make that rule if not racism? So let me just hang that one there. The next question is, how long did it take you to move there? I got my visa within 3 weeks. So in less than 2 months after I got my visa, I moved to the UK. So the next question here is, what advice would you give to someone also planning to move to the UK? The advice I would give is is what I've been mentioning since. Do your proper research. Do your research very well. I hope you all guys know that jobs, especially in Scotland, it's not easy. It's not easy to get jobs. Do your proper research. Know the places where they are needing people and the kind of jobs they need, so that you can start working on it before you even come over. Because in as much as yes, there are not many jobs here, some people are still getting jobs from outside of this place. I have a friend that got a job while still in Nigeria. She didn't come on a working visa. She came just the same way I came through study route, but she got a job while before she even came. So as she came from Nigeria, she just resumed into the job. She just resumed. I was like, this your own It's very interesting because she's informed, or she was informed. Yeah, she was informed. She knew what to do. They've already given her hints. That's what most of us lack here. Again, for our brothers and sisters that are here in diaspora, please don't ever give the impression to anybody, even though yes, things are like this here, don't give any impression that please, oh, don't come yet. You may want to do it out of a good mind, because obviously, see the way things are now, you now want to tell somebody, see, you better save money first, don't come yet, oh, maybe you should come. That thing can create enmity for life. It can create enmity for life, because they will make it look like, if that place is that difficult for you, why can't you come back? So you now giving them the impression that you better hold on first to see how this place is. They will tell you don't want their progress. My pastor's wife also mentioned something like this, that hey, they don't tell people not to come abroad though. Let them come and see things for themselves. You might become an enemy for life if you try to tell somebody not to come. So I just wanted to quickly chip that in. So if you are coming, make your proper research, try to have enough funds. The next question is, did you regret moving there at any point in time? That is, did I regret moving into the UK at any point in time? Yes. I there are some times I regret, if I had known. But since I'm still in the lag phase where you are trying to settle down, I don't fight myself too much, because I know it will always get better. Now, the second question comes from Sarah Donald. She asks, list five. This one sounds like an examination question. Say, list five cultural shocks you experienced. Okay, first was the boss, me not allowing the people in to come out first before going in. You know where we are coming from. We look like people from Russia. We always rush. Once the bus stops, you want to quickly enter. And it took me time to learn that when the bus stops, I have to wait for the passengers that want to come down then before I'll go in. That also applies to maybe entering any hall. I also had that experience when I went to one bank, and then that woman was coming out. I didn't even understand the setting of the door. I was also going in. The woman said, let me come out first. So that was when I had to take my correction. Then the second culture shock is the fact that when you go into the bus, you greet the driver, though it's optional. And when you are coming down, you tell the driver, thank you, courtesy. Yeah. The third one is the fact that I drink tap water here. Another culture shock is if you are having different genders, maybe you have a boy and a girl, you need to rent maybe a 3-bedroom flat, one room for the parents, one room for the boy, one room for the girl. So that one shocked me. And the fact that they don't even take light at all. Since I came here, it has been 24/7 light here. I've never experienced any blinking. It's also shocking. Then the next one is your kids' experience. It took them a while for them to acclimatize. They are still acclimatizing. The accent, they had to start adjusting, and to an extent, they now speak like the Scottish. Um, I know the first time my son went to school, he got bullied. Second time he got bullied. I think the third time he fought back, and I later got a letter from the school that this that. I said my son doesn't fight. He must have been pushed to the wall. But then everything was resolved. Then my children, they during the winter, they did not that they didn't know their time anymore. Because when I give them food around 3, everywhere is dark. So when I give them food around 3, they will tell you it's time to go sleep. But when it's like 6, I try to give them dinner. They say, "But why are you giving us food in the night?" I'll tell them it's just evening. So their experience about timing, when they want to know the time, by the time I tell them no, it's this. Okay, they'll say, okay, 3 o'clock the following day. I'll say no, it's actually afternoon. They say, but why is everywhere dark? I say, well, that's the system we are in now. We are in the winter season, so that's what is expected, you know. Um, my kids experience, I try to take them out for their friends' birthdays. Sometimes I used to get letters of invitation cards from their friends' parents inviting them for birthdays. So far so good. I used to take them there, and they usually have a nice time, with their friends. Then their experience again, the bus. Initially they used to run, but now they now know that they have to be gentle kids. When you go into the bus, before now, I want to sit here, I want to sit here. I used to tell them this is a public bus. You don't fight over where you will sit. Just get any nice place and sit there. Then for my kids, I noticed they started using some languages I did not like. I told them even though you are abroad, you would not forget that you are an African. When we just came, normally they greet me in my dialect, they greet my husband in my dialect. All of a sudden, when they come back from school, I hear, hi dad, hi mom. I said, if I hear that again, who are you hiding? I said, when you see your friends outside, your friends move outside, you can hide them. But this stands in this house, even though you continue speaking your English, you greet your parents in your dialect. So, which they have adjusted. And the issue of yes mommy and sir, that one was also another thing in the house. My husband would want them to answer, for example, David, say yes daddy or sir. So now they answer sir, but to me all those ones are by the way, to me, whichever one you answer me, I'm perfectly okay. Those are the experiences they've had so far. How long did you hunt for job, or how long did you job hunt? Let me just say 5 months. Yes, I won't count that one as job. So 5 months to be precise. So your advice to upcoming movers, please. I think I answered that before now. When you are coming, have a backup plan, have enough funds, make proper research about the place you are going to, and don't also have the mind that you will use faith to handle things. I think that's what is really affecting most of us. And when we reach there, sometimes when you don't know how to place faith, it becomes stupidity. For example, you get an admission, you are like 8 months old, almost 9 months pregnant. You still came into the UK. You know, your giving birth there does not guarantee your child having becoming a citizen within 1 year. Before that child can become a citizen, you'll be talking about 6, 7 years upwards. So you coming in thinking that when you just give birth, so my advice is, why can't you just give birth, let your baby grow for a while, then you come. You see, some people will now put themselves. Recently, I learned a lady fainted. She was pregnant. The stress is too much. You need to see the way students are complaining. The one that hurts me most, you see someone that will just give birth to a child just because you cannot wait, and it could be deferred. That's the good thing about this abroad of a thing. Once you've gotten your visa, you think you are not ready, you can defer some things. But some people want it now, 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 now. They will now put themselves in the rhythm. When they now come, they start saying, God, I know, I know. But you knew that this is what will happen at the end of the day. A child that is still supposed to be nursing, you will just leave that child just because you must come abroad. I wonder how people take risk. Oh. She also asked why UK. Well, UK was never really in my plan. It was not really in my plan. I had the mind of moving into Canada, but along the line, I told you if you watched my previous videos, Canada was looking as if it won't work out, and I know instead of just wasting my time, because I'm speaking on behalf of my husband now. He has always wanted to acquire a master's degree in the UK. That was like many years ago. But owing to funds and some other factors, he couldn't really come over. So when this Canada was delaying, it was like instead of me just staying back, let me just go and increase my um, educational career by doing this master. So that was why we chose UK. You understand? That was why we chose UK, and we also wanted a case whereby we could also explore another part of the world. We have the good side of UK, we have the bad side of UK as well. And now it's becoming very rigid for new immigrants. And I pray that God will help us all. For those that have dreams to relocate abroad, I pray to be granted unto you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you all in my next video. Please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't also forget to turn on your post notification bell. Bye.